So part of the interview can definitely be conversational. The part in which you're starting to have them role play or shadow or whatever it is, what's the best way to make use of the time that you have with them?
In terms of you being with them.
Yeah, so, I mean, I've heard many different thought processes from this room. So some people will say they'll have them shadow and test their competency. Some people will say they'll have them role play. The issue is that this is the first time they're getting to know you and your business and how you do stuff. So you're not going to get a clear idea for how well they're going to do just yet.
More often than not, it's the willingness to do it.
Okay.
Because again, and this is where your understanding of what you're looking for. If I don't have the confidence to role play in front of you, I don't have confidence, full stop. And if you've hired me to be a customer acquisition, i.e. somebody who's strong, confident on the phone, happy to handle the objections, the drop-offs, the leads coming in off the website, and if I at any point back out of or are not comfortable with doing some role playing in front of you, you've got the wrong person right there and then. And it isn't as much to do with what they'll say, it's their willingness to pick up the phone. Like with Barry, for example, who came into the office, who's working with you all on sales, right, and helping you with the drop-offs and the front desk stuff. So I said, look, I need you to go downstairs, pick up the phone, start speaking the leads in the physio business. He went, all right. There wasn't even a second of doubt, because that's what he does. That's his job. That's what he's come from. That's his background, 5 to 10 years of sales and sales training and helping people to do it. If he'd have said to me, oh, I'm not sure about that, there would have been a firework gone off in my brain that gone, I've got the wrong guy. I don't need to know anything more, that I will have a problem because of that, that unwillingness to do it. Then it's a competency issue. How good is he thereafter? But the first thing I'm looking for in the first 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks is that willingness. Throw me in. I don't really care how well this plays out. I don't care what you think of me, because I'm strong enough and I'm confident enough to figure this out. That's what most people don't give you. They'll shy away from role play and they'll come up with some ridiculous fucking thing that would be like the words that Harry would use at 5-year-old. It's like, oh, I just don't want to do it. I don't feel comfortable. I just don't feel as though I should have to do this. It's like, it's just listening to a kid. It's literally listening to a kid when they tell you that they don't want to role play or they don't want to play these things out. So the answer is you can't. And your answer, therefore, is you accept that the ultimate goal with the hiring process done right is an 80-20 in your favor rather than a 70-30 against you emotional roller coaster that was no thought gone into it at all. The odds will stack significantly off favor the more data that you collect. And the data comes from the probing, really. Everything that you're doing, everything that I'm seeing, how willing are you to play out this thing with the phone calls? That you'll know very quickly in the sales role as to whether or not somebody can do it with their ability just to pick up the phone. And criticism doesn't exist for a salesperson. It's just like, just fucking tell me what to say. I'm not bothered. I don't care. Think about this. The right person, for example, in a customer acquisition role, right, which is leads, drop-offs, and so on, they don't care what you tell them. Equally, they don't care what somebody thinks of them. It's exactly the same place in their life. That if they have a problem with you telling them what to do, it's because of rejection and fear. And that same doubt, fear, skepticism would be taken to the phone. That I care enough about, or I care too much about what the person thinks of me, which makes them not predisposed to actually be good at the thing that we need them to do. It probably makes them predisposed to be very good at the come on in and have a coffee conversation, but not the other conversation that you need somebody to have. Does that help? I don't think I can give you a specific, I know we're all wrestling for the actual tactics, but what I can say to you is that your understanding of it now is likely to be significantly better. You'll know the mistakes that you've made, and it does get better. You do get better at it the more that you do it, but there'll still always be 1 or 2 out of 10 who slip through the net. Unless you can get somebody to come in and do a 2-week trial and give up their job for the sake of 2 weeks for you, it's not going to happen. So you have to be willing to have these parameters. This is what the dashboard looks like. This is what my standards look like. Because if I don't, the 90 days is, you're not going to speak about this in a year. But if you, and this is your answer, this is really everybody's answer. You're not going to speak about the girl that's just left this time next year. But I know there's somebody in this room right now who a year ago knew the person that they've still got right now should have been fired? Yes or no? You don't have to put your hand up. I know full well there is people, multiple, in this room right now, in your side, that'll do for one. And yours. And anybody else's who's... It's the whole fucking back table and whoever else who literally, when I mentioned that, went, you didn't even have to say it. It's in your fucking eyes. It's in the blood, in your cheeks. It's in the breath and how deeply you breathe at the time when it gets mentioned. At the same time, it's in when you're interviewing people, when you ask them questions. It's not what they say, it's how they say it. You don't need to give me an answer. I can see it in your body language. Your ass shuffles in the chair the moment you're uncomfortable with the question that I ask. We had this conversation before. Sound familiar? They do it. You do it. I do it. We all do it. But back to your point, from a much higher level in business, you are in a better position than the people who a year ago knew that they needed to make that decision, who ultimately hired somebody who couldn't do their job and is still there right now. That's what a good interview process does, because you add the standards. You add this is what I need. This is what success looks like, clearly defined. That person didn't meet it. Not your, assuming you know that you've gone through the whole thing, and there'll be better things or things to add next time. We're always going to learn that process. Always. But to me, your hiring process actually worked, because they didn't make it past the time where it would have started to hurt you. That's what you've got to focus on more, because if not, you'll end up, again, like some people in the room, just petrified of hiring, thinking that this person's going to cost me emotionally and monetary and so on and so forth. The standards are there to make sure at this point we either continue and we end up in coaching, or we part our ways and we go through it again. We regroup, we learn our lessons, and we move forward. Any more questions?
Thanks for watching this video, and if you found it helpful, and if you now find yourself thinking, I wonder what else this person can help me with, head over to paulgough.com/books, where you can find my best-selling books, which will show you how to add more profit to your practice. Or send an email to paul@paulgough.com to ask about how we can help you accelerate the growth and profitability of your clinic. And by the way, if you know anybody who would find this helpful, please share this video out. Thanks so much.